Hello everybody and welcome back. Welcome back once again to Let's Play Fallout 4 with Susan Williams. Here she is. Hat, glasses and vault suit, looking pretty dapper. Well, as dapper as you can do in a post-apocalyptic world, I suppose. She stepped out of the power armor that we ended in the last session. Bit clompy for her liking, really. And here is dog meat. So in the last session, we came here to the Museum of Freedom. We met the Minutemen and Preston Garvey, and more importantly, more interestingly, we met Mama Murphy. Now they've gone off to Sanctuary because she had a vision about the place. Speaking of her visions, these visions are fueled by drugs. By Jet, I think, more particularly. And she made a comment about our son. More about all of that a little bit later. But for now, I've got a couple of things to address before we start the session rolling. First of all, dog meat. Look at him. Cute little thing he is. German Shepherd, my favourite breed of dog. I have one at home. Female German Shepherd outside. She's 5. Called Tess. I love her to bits. Very high energy, very hyperactive, but she's absolutely beautiful. And here is dog meat. Or should I say, here is Bobby. Thank you to James Gordon. I did ask for your suggestions for a name, and I have chosen James Gordon's suggestion. He said Bobby, and I liked it for 3 reasons. The first reason, I'm not going to call him Bobby all the time. I'm going to shorten it to Bob. Bob was my character in Fallout 3. Link there. I was a police officer, previous profession. Susan Williams was a police officer, previous life, effectively. And a slang term, or another term for a police officer in England, is a Bobby. Link there. And one of my good friends, German Shepherds, or the last German Shepherd he had about 20 years ago now, he was called Bobby. Link there. So 3 little links, all leading towards the name Bobby. We're going to call him Bob for short, but it's like your mother. If you have a short name, she'll use your short name most often than not. But then if you do something wrong, or you're in a bad books, she'll use that long name. So if we call him Bobby, it's because he's done something wrong. And I'm sure when we use that tone, he'll know he's in the bad books. Because I'm sure Susan can, well, when she makes that face and she uses that tone, anybody will be quivering in their boots when she means business. So there's little Bobby, or Big Bobby. Okay, second thing to address is the perk situation. We leveled up twice in the last session, and I did not put my points into the perks because I wanted to do just one last little bit of research first. And I've done that last little bit of research. And all the perks that I have planned out with Susan relate to her previous job, relate to her previous life. So when I pick the perks, they'll kind of make sense. But more about them when I pick them. First thing I want to do is I want to get the special stats. I want to get them to what I want them to be. Now, they're almost there. I'm not going to put a lot of points into the special stats, but there is a few points that I need to put in, and I'm going to put those in first, get those done and dusted, then I can focus on the perks as we progress later on in the game. So the first perk point that I'm going to put into is I'm going to put it into... It's either going to go into charisma or intelligence, and I think first of all we're going to put it into intelligence. So where's that? There we go. So we go to intelligence, we choose a perk, and that should take us up to intelligence level 7. Confirm selection. There we go. So she's got intelligence 7, and that is the last point of intelligence that I will put into Susan's stats. I wanted to get to intelligence 8, but to do that she's going to have to find the bobblehead. But I'm not going to put any more points into this. But I want her to max out at intelligence level 8. And I'm going to go against my own, my own build advice here. And I'm going to actually put 1 point into Locksmith. Locksmith requires perception level 4. We have that. I did explain that Susan was trained in the art of lockpicking in her profession. And therefore we are going to be maxing out, or getting 3 ranks of, at least, locksmithing, so that we can open those, well, harder to unpick locks. So that's the first rank of that as well. So she can now pick advanced locks. Lovely. So that's the first 2 perk points. So name dog, done. Stepped out of the power armor, done. Perks, done. Just take them off my list. I've got a list of things I want to address here in this session. Now this session might be a little bit shorter than the norm because I'm going to end it at a preset point. I've got a point in mind where I want to end this and it's not too far away from here. So it might end between 30 and 45 minutes this session rather than the usual 60 to 90. But I'll explain what's going to happen when I get there. So the first thing we're going to do is we have left Bobby down here to guard the door, make sure no one comes in, and before we head off to Sanctuary to meet the Minutemen, we're going to look around in the rest of this museum. We imagine that let's have a look if it's working. There we go.
Nice.
Nice indeed. We're going to explore the rest of this museum, explore the nooks and the crannies. The Minutemen may have taken some of the good stuff, most of the good stuff, but well, Susan is meticulous. She is thorough in whatever she does, and there could be things that they overlooked that they think or thought wouldn't be useful that Susan might have a use for. She's gathering a survival kit. She's got fork knife, spoon, hairbrush, toothpaste. You know, she's got these things already. And that survival kit will continue to grow as she finds more useful things. So things that she might be able to put into that survival kit could well be here. So she's going to have a look around. Now in relation to that survival kit, I'm aware that most of the items that I am going to be putting into this survival kit are actually going to be classified as junk items, and for the sake of ease there is a quick way to actually store your junk item in workshops. Now I had a bit of a think about this and thought, should I manually store stuff in workshops and keep all my survival kit in my inventory, or should I not? And I decided not to do that. So all the junk items will be going into the workshops, and these items that I am collecting as part of my survival kit, I am making note of what I've picked up, a hard copy on a notepad that I have by my desk here, and I will make a note of what I've collected for the survival kit. And even though those items may end up in the junk pile of a workshop, for all intents and purposes, Susan will still have them on her person, if that makes sense. Okay, so she's just double checking. I know we've been to a lot of these places, but I purposely didn't go too deep into my explorations in the last session because we were focusing on the quest at hand, which was to a duct tape and screwdriver. She doesn't like DIY, but sometimes certain tools will come in handy for certain things. So duct tape and a screwdriver are added to the survival kit to go along with everything else that she's got so far. Take that for now. Weapon, switchblade. Bag of cement. Probably a bit too heavy. Lugging that damn thing around. Ah, you see, ammunition. Easy to miss. Ammunition, jet, and a potato. Easy to miss. So it looks like the Minutemen maybe weren't as thorough as Susan was in their dog tags. In their search of this museum, or maybe they didn't even bother to search it. Table knife. She's already got some form of a knife. Cigarette carton, another cigarette carton, and a hammer. Hammer, screwdriver, yeah. Another one to add to the survival kit, which is ever growing. Fork we have. and a colander. I suppose some things are going too far. Don't think we're going to be making slap-up 5-star meals in this apocalyptic world, so a colander we might just leave behind for now. We can't really think of a reason to take it. Although a coffee cup, yeah, a bit more civilised than drinking bourbon out of the bottle. I mean, a shot glass would be absolutely perfect, or a tumbler. But the next best thing, some kind of a cup. Drink our first shot of bourbon out of when we finally get to rest up, whenever that may be. Now there is a mod I will be installing soon enough which helps with the timing issues. It puts the real life time and also the game time at every point of the Pip-Boy, but at the moment I have to go to the map to see the time. It is 5:16, we've still got a bit of time to play with before it starts to get too late. Speaking of mods, I haven't installed any mods before this session. I had no plans to install mods for this session. This is going to be a shorter session, as I've explained, so no mods really to showcase. However, when I get to this next part of the LP at the end of this session, it will make perfect sense as to why I've waited to install the next set of mods. All will become very clear at the end of the session. Now, I was umming and ahhing about whether to keep my exploration on camera or off camera, all this kind of stuff, you know, exploring buildings, just taking loot and plunder and junk and stuff to craft, etc. And I'm going to stick with it for now. Now, if it does get too tedious, please just let me know in a comment. I can always... Oh, did we miss this last time? All this food? I can skip it out, but I mean, it's a bit risky doing that because I just don't know what I'm going to stumble across in a building. I could stumble across a quest, I could stumble across a certain character. You just don't know what you're going to find. I mean, and this is actually part of the game. Hairbrush? We don't need a hairbrush. We've got a fancy hairbrush. We've got a fancy hairbrush, yeah. Why have a regular Joe hairbrush when a fancy one is so much better? Another roll of duct tape. A paintbrush. I don't think a paintbrush could be useful. Forget it. Forget it. Military grade duct tape. Whoa. Okay, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking, eh? Wonder glue. Oh, money. Okay. There he is, look, still standing guard. He's a good boy. He's a very good boy. Now I'm aware that we can strap all these different forms of armour pieces to our armour to enhance our, well, damage threshold or whatever the hell it is, but at this moment in time Susan not that interested just yet in that kind of thing. Okay, so there is a computer here which we haven't looked at because Sturgis was using it when we first came. Call the coffee cups galore here. It goes outside. That was where Preston Garvey was on the balcony, I think. Don't believe there'll be anything out there. We might just check it before we do leave, just to make sure. Oh! Bingo! We've got a shot glass. Oh yeah, we've got a shot glass. And a bowl. A bowl to eat out of as well. Oh, it's all coming together nicely. These things we take for granted in real life. Forks, knives, spoons, bowls, glasses, cups. Bloody rare commodity, I would imagine, in a world like this. So getting our hands on them is absolutely, well, absolutely flaming marvellous. Right, we've been outside there, I think. Might not have got everything from up there because we were in the heat of battle, but we'll take the chance. So we've got that glass, we've got that shot glass for that shot of bourbon that we might just be able to.
Price we paid to get this far.
Hello.
Let's move out. I'll take point. Stay close, everyone.
We're right behind you, boss.
Okay. Looks like they're heading out to Sanctuary finally.
I still can't believe she took that thing out.
Susan eyeing him up. As they walk off into the distance. They seem like a good people. We've just got to keep an eye on them for these early stages. Right, there's nothing here. Right. So I think the last thing for us to do, screwdriver, no, we've got one of them now, thank you. Got cups. Here we go. Let's test her hacking skills once again. She didn't do too badly the first time. Maybe she could become a natural. Right, loses. 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Now I am aware that if we get close to losing a hacking game, we can actually back out the computer and reset everything. I'm not going to do that. Almost feel like cheating to me in that. So if I do fail it and lock the computer, then we have to live with the consequences. And we will never know what's in the terminal. Right. La 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 la. Tries reset, lovely. So losers had 2 in common. Cases has 2 in common as well. So it is the... Oh no, Cases has 3 in common, doesn't it? That's stupid. Silly me. So, okay. I think we might have actually got all of our brackets here. Right. So we've got sizes. That would be the E and the S. That would fit. That's 1. So it isn't the E and the S that's common there. Could it be the E in fire? It's 1 try remaining. What did I say about when I'm not going to reset the system? Let me think about this. Losers and Cases had 2. Sizes had 1. It's not SES, because that would be 3. Loses, Cases. Could it be the S and the could be the AS? Nests. Could be the S and the S, which would then leave me to nests. That would be nests. So the S and the S would be 2. Yeah, that would make sense. Fire is 1. NES. But then there's no link with fire. Sizes is 1. Right. Could it be dregs? Cases is 2. Dregs. D-R-E-G-S. No, it can't be dregs. Could it be... Alright, it's not sizes. Could Could it be death? No, I don't think so. D-E-A, not death. It's not death. Could it be tried? Tried. There's an E there. But it's cases and losers was 2. D-R-E-G-S. That would just be 1. Nests would be 2. But then where does foyer and sizes fit in? Sizes. The S on the end of sizes. Where does foyer? F-O-Y-E-R. Foyer has no link to nests. What am I doing? Am I missing a trick here? Oh, upset. Upset. It must be upset, surely. The S and the E of cases and losers makes sense, and then foyer, F-O-Y. The E in foyer links in with the E with upset. It's upset.
I'm in.
Oh, dearie me. What gate are we unlocking here? No idea. Log entries. Museum of Freedom Operations Terminal. After hours tomfoolery. For the last time, the Redcoat mannequin displays are not toy soldiers and are not to be played with after hours. 2 of them have scuffed paint, and this morning one of the foot regiment pieces was missing his arm. This sort of horsing around will not be tolerated. Anyone caught engaging in such behaviour will be written up, docked an hour's pay, and charged for damages. Chief Curator Harold Nash. Roaches in the basement. Someone get maintenance down in the basement to deal with that roach problem. Do it now on the down low while the museum is open. Discretion is key. We cannot afford to close the museum again, nor is it acceptable for a child to find a cockroach in her hair as she's learning about taxation without representation. This situation must be resolved immediately. Chief Creator Harold Nash. The Anchorage exhibit. After meeting with the Director and Board of Trustees, I am afraid I must deliver some rather dire news. Our planned Anchorage exhibit has been put on indefinite hold. It is simply not within the museum's budget at this time to make the renovations necessary to accommodate such an ambitious endeavour. My thanks to the curatorial and maintenance teams for all the work that's been done thus far, but, well, we're not going to get it. And the final entry, of course, the day the bombs fell. This is Megan Hayes. I'm a tour guide here at the Concord Museum of Freedom. I'm so scared. When everyone saw the flashes, they left. Even Mr. Nash. He just ran away and left me here. Jerk. And then one of those army helicopter things crashed into the roof. I saw soldiers, but they looked freaked out. I just hid from them. I've only been in Massachusetts a month. I don't really know anyone, and I don't know where to go. I broke the lock on the curator's desk and took the gun. I'm going to hide in one of the rooms for a few days until things calm down. If somebody reads this, please come find me. But if you try to hurt me, I swear I'll shoot you. Wow. Okay, so after that rather long and convoluted hack, told you she wasn't proficient at hacking, didn't I? We're done and dusted in the museum. Hey, calm down. Oops, come on, there we go. God, just squeeze around there. There we are. Lovely. Okay, so we're done in here. There is more work to be done though. Dog meat?
Hey.
Let's go.
Come on.
Look, force of habit. Bob. I'll get used to it. How do we get in this thing? Might as well take it with us to where we're going. As much as we don't like it. Where are you? Come on, boy. Before it gets too dark. Right, now I'm aware that we could explore the entirety of Concord, but we're not going to do that just yet. We will at some point return here and have a very good look around the area, but the time is not now. It's getting dark, night is falling. The Minutemen are off to Sanctuary, and at the very least we need to go there to make sure that they do not plot themselves up in my house. As if they're going to believe that we were cryogenically, whatever, damn stasis. Ah, this is where the death claw must have come out of. Ooh. Again, we shall be back here later. If we can get out alive. Without being crushed. Come on. There we go. Come on then. I just want to check something out before we go back to Sanctuary. There was a safe. What the hell am I? There was a safe in a house, and I don't know what level of lock it was, whether it was expert or advanced, but we'll just double check on the way out. If it was advanced, we can now pick it. It was upstairs. And it was here. Ah, lovely. Persistence pays off. A silver locket, some shotgun shells, money, another pistol, some ammunition. And were these on there before? A red bandana and some welding goggles. I don't think they were somehow. But they're here now, so, well, we might as well take them. And I'm sure we took those last time. And I'm sure we took the Nuka-Cola bottle last time as well. I wonder if things have reset after we've done that mission. Very bizarre. Or maybe somebody else came and put all those things back and we've just taken them for a second time. The resident of this house will return after we've gone on. What the hell? Somebody's nicked my Nuka-Cola bottle again. Right, anyway. Next piece of business. We did read in the Red Rocket that there was a possible storage area underneath where they stored their toxic waste from inspectors. And lo and behold, literally, we stumble right into it. It's right here. So we're just going to pop our heads underneath to find out well, what there is underneath the Red Rocket. And if there is anything of use in said safe. You're not liking the look of this. I don't know how effective we're going to be sneaking in a blooming power armor suit. Just in case we have some semblance of stealth, we're going to try and utilize it. Okay, we're in. Okay, we've got signs of life ahead, and we're still unseen. Uh-oh. Ah! Jesus! I don't care what you say. You could be the strongest man in the world. You could be Ross Dan Kemp. When something like that crops up right in front of your face from the ground below, you're gonna be horrified. Even if it's just for a short second before you regain your composure. My God. Right, dog meat, this looks very, very toxic here. Just be very careful where you put your paws. Did I call him dog meat again? Maybe Bob won't stick. Mama Murphy called him dog meat, and now it's stuck in my brain. Now these are beer bottles. I think they're empty. All kinds of fungus. What did I see there? Combination wrench I saw somewhere. There it is. Add it to our list of equipment to put in our kit. Of course, we do have a light which we can use. Some kind of a haze here. Doesn't look very promising. Okay, let's... Oh, getting a clicky sound. Your Geiger counter, which generally means radiation. Now, we have picked up some form of radiation medication, whether that's radiation reduction or radiation protection. There you go, Rad-X. We've got one use of it here. Pop it. Get in. Fusion core. Some ammunition, a weapon, and Trash Busters reward. Yeah. Trash Busters award. Respect for the environment. Yeah. You just stick it all down here. Out of sight, but out of mind. Okay. We've got a fusion core there. This place does go down deeper, and we yet haven't found the safe that was mentioned. So once again we enter stealth mode as we go deeper down and see our quarry. Rabid! Uh-oh, he's gonna pop up any minute now! Right in front of me! God. Vile creatures. Ah, scissors. You haven't got any scissors just yet. Coffee pot. Somehow I think brewing coffee is a thing of the past. Well, there's the safe.
Sweet.
Cooking oil. Okay, well, we could find a use for cooking oil. Fragmentation mine, Mentats, Molotov cocktail, and silver pocket watch. Alright. You know, when you want to fry up some, I don't know, some rad roach meat. Find yourself some kind of a pan. Get it over a cooking fire, a bit of cooking oil. fry it up. Tasty. We've got some potatoes, we've got some carrots. Sure, Susan with her cooking skills, she's not a bad cook after all, might be able to conjure up something relatively tasty. I think we're done in here. Alright, so it is beginning to get a little bit darker now. Red sky at night, Shepherd's Delight. Should be a nice day tomorrow. We're going to have to make our way back to Sanctuary, meet the Minutemen, and see what else they've got to say for themselves. 8 o'clock. Now, Susan beginning to get a little bit peckish. She had her breakfast very, very early this morning. It was early hours. Now, in terms of mods, one mod I can't wait for is a hardcore style sort of needs mod, hunger, sleep and thirst. Now, for them mods to come out, I think might require the creation kit, so hence why there's none of them out so far. But for the time being, of course, we will be eating, sleeping, drinking with Susan. And I speak from experience as a former police officer myself, but you do become very accustomed to eating twice a day. You eat your breakfast, particularly on a day shift, you eat your breakfast before you go to work. You then sometimes they're very, very busy and you don't have time to have your lunch. And Susan, of course, very, very, very busy, leader of a department, things to do, oftentimes would go with no lunch. Look at all this purified water. Bloody hellfire, we've hit the jackpot. She would often go for long, several days in a row without eating lunch. Far too busy for such liberties. And therefore she's become quite accustomed to just eating 2 meals a day. So eating just the breakfast and an evening meal, she's more than happy to survive on that. Now, we want to be heading up more towards that general direction. So we'll be eating breakfast with her, and then we'll be eating an evening meal. And she's quite happy to survive on that. Speaking also of eating, sleeping and drinking, she is also not a very good sleeper, a very uneasy sleeper. She's very methodical, always thinking. Mind is never stopping. So when she goes to bed, finds it very difficult to shut down, to switch off, and she's always thinking about the next day, what she has to do, what she can improve. And therefore, the kind of person that could go to bed at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it wouldn't be until like 3 AM that she ends up falling asleep because she's tossing, turning, mind whirring. So she, generally speaking, gets 4, 5, on a good day, 6 hours of sleep per evening. Not one of these people that can sleep soundly for 8 or 9 hours, and therefore she's quite content to survive on about 5, 6 hours of sleep here as well. I've gone all this way crouched. I think I have. Right, in the last video I noticed that I missed some ammunition on the floor that was somewhere near here. There we go, here it is. I noticed this. Susan noticing it now, she's walking past. But before we do go and meet the gang, before we do settle down for the evening with a bite to eat, a little bit to drink, and sort through our inventory to get our survival kit in order, and maybe even to do some other things, we just want to retrace our steps here. This is almost like Susan's final way of coming to terms with things, because apparently what felt like yesterday was 200 years ago. We walked out of our house. In fact, we didn't walk. We ran out of our front door. People panicking. A helicopter, a vertibird, whatever you call the damn thing, flying overhead. And we and Nate, who had Sean in his arms, ran. And we ran for our lives, effectively. Down here. As Susan now is beginning to replay that memory in her mind. We ran down here. Running. Along with other members of the community. Bombs had fallen in other major cities across the United States. Was ours to be next? Well, we weren't going to take the chance of sitting in our comfy home to find out. We ran here, and here we were. A line of people trying to get past these gates. Military, checking people off a list. We were allowed entry, and we were led. We were led by a man running very slowly. But we were led up the hill. What have you found, boy? Bear with me, I'm having a flashback here. And then we were led to here, to this lift. And right there, straight ahead, the big boom. She still can't believe it's real. Like some kind of a sick dream that she would hope to wake up from after 3 or 4 hours worth of tossing and turning. But for some reason, this nightmare is not ending. Alright, we're going to just check around this area before we go back and retire for the evening. Looks like there's no way back inside. But that begs the question, how on earth did they get in? The people that took Sean, how did they get inside the vault? There is some kind of power to it, because look, there's flashing light here. Questions for another time, perhaps. Right, we're going to take this folder. It's the first bit of paper that we've really got that we can make notes on. We got a pen. Was it a pen last time? We got a pen last time out, so that we can make some notes should we require to. Folder we can use to store important pieces of information if we find some paper to make our notes on. What is it? Oh, you're looking at this. Goodbye, aren't you? What the hell? Okay. You're looking very pleased with yourself. Anything else? Anything else, Bob? Anything else for us? Food? Drink? Anything? Come on. So as we now head back to Sanctuary, thoughts now turning to Mama Murphy. Mama, the big Mama. Now when we think about things logically, it doesn't make sense, does it? This vision that she's having, these visions, what a load of codswallop we initially thought. But just how much codswallop is it? Just how much codswallop is it? How would she know he had a son? How would she know? And not only that, but before she started talking about our son, when we first met her, she was talking about something dangerous was coming for us, something big, something fierce, whatever she said. You know, oh, danger lurking. And we were like, oh, we're all doomed. Very sarcastic. Oh, we're doomed. We're doomed, are we? But then, what came popping up out of the damn ground in front of our face but a death claw? Very menacing beast with massive claws that could take your head off in a single swipe. Saw him tear a man in two. Was that the danger she was speaking of? And if it was, maybe this vision, this sight that she has isn't so far-fetched. I mean, this is a world 200 years past. Radiation exposure to could play havoc with people's minds, brains, development. Who's to say that she's not speaking the truth? And even for somebody who is as skeptical as Susan about this so-called power, even she is beginning to think there's just too many coincidences for this to be a falsification. So we turn to the moral dilemma that she's faced with. Mama Murphy said that if we provide her with some more jets, she might be able to see clearer, might be able to get a better vision of where my son is. And would me, Susan, a police officer, would we turn to the dark side and start dealing drugs to a woman to enhance these visions? The short answer to that is hell yes we would. Because as a mother looking for her son, we'd go to any absolute lengths to protect him. We'd kill for him, and therefore feeding drugs to some mad woman, well, that's a small price to pay, and we'd happily live with ourselves if it meant that we could get that one step closer to our son. Right, where's Preston? Where's your leader? Speak with you later, Mama Murphy. Speak with you later. Where's Preston? Where is he? Am I missing something here? Supposed to be checking in. So they've set themselves up here, over the road from our house, which is rather thankful. Because if they had set themselves up in our house, we'd have had to turf them out. Get out of that for now. Whew, breath of fresh air, feels like. Right, we're supposed to be joining Preston Garvey in Sanctuary. Where is he? Oh, there he is, doing his patrols. God bless him.
I'm glad you decided to come with us. I should have listened to Mama Murphy all along. Pretty nice place she's found for us. I think we could settle down here. Make it a place to call home. What do you think?
Yeah. We could say that we used to live here, but we can divulge that in due course. The one thing that we really do want to get to the bottom of are these visions.
So, do you believe in these visions she has?
I didn't used to, but how did she know about this place? I think she has some kind of a gift. Best not to ignore it. I mean, look at this place. I really think this could be what we've been looking for.
Yeah, okay, this is where we'll probably drop the bombshell.
Yeah. I used to like living here. Before the war.
What do you mean? Before what war? Are you saying...
What do you think I'm saying?
I lived here. Over 200 years ago. I was frozen or something for most of it. Just woke up a little while ago.
Damn. Like one of those old pre-war ghouls. You say you were frozen. Anybody else make it out with you?
Yeah. Well, technically.
Maybe. I woke up at one point. Some people killed my husband and kidnapped my son. I'm trying to find him.
Damn. I'm sorry. I hope you find him. Let me know if there's any way I can help. Anyway, I am glad you're here. And I hope you don't mind, but I've got another favor to ask. I've had word from a settlement asking for help. There's still hope in there are Minutemen out there somewhere. The only chance to start rebuilding the Minutemen is to show people that they can count on us when they need us. Trouble is, I've got my hands full here. Do you think you could go help out the settlement?
Well, I've kind of got my hands full as well, looking for my lost son. But what kind of help do they need?
What kind of help do they need?
Sounded like the usual. Raiders. You'll have to get all the details when you talk to them.
Well, we'll say yes for now. Whether we get to it anytime soon is another matter.
I'd be glad to help.
That's fantastic. The Minutemen could use more people like you. By the way, if you want to help out around here at all, talk to Sturgis. I'm sure he'd be glad for all the help he can get.
All right. Come on, Bob. Before we help anybody, we need to help ourselves. And we need to get fed. We need to get watered. And we need to have a bit of rest, because it's been a long, long day.
Hey, June. You hanging in there?
Oh, well, I guess so. Every day I get up
Home sweet home.
You've been through a rough time, man.
Welcome to your new home, boy. Go check it out.
Hope there's anything I can do to help.
So here we are once again. We started the day here. And we end the day here. But what do we do next? Well, apparently, these chaps need some help. So, well, first things first, we'll probably end up having a bite to eat. We've got some Nuka-Cola, but, well, we know that Susan is not too impressed with the carbonated soft drinks, so she'll probably have some purified water. And, well, fancy lads snack cakes. It's the best of a bad bunch, and rather luckily, we've even got some food for Bob. And then she'll enjoy the delights of a grey tortoise and a sip of bourbon in the shot glass she's found, whilst listening to some music on the old Pip-Boy, perhaps, for a, well, not too unpleasant evening while she rests up on the sofa and contemplates where to go next. So while Susan is doing that, I will explain where we go from here. So this is where I intended to end the session. I don't know how long we've been going, but I do know it's a shorter session than the norm, so I will plan on uploading another session tomorrow, so fear not. We won't have to wait too long until the next one. But the reason why I want to leave it here is because this is where we start to learn about the crafting stuff. We start crafting some things. We start crafting beds, and we start getting the settlement here in Sanctuary up and running. And before I do any of that, I want to install some crafting type mods. Now, some of the mods that I have on my list will be mods such as crafting ammo, craftable ammo. Also, I mean, looking at something that might add some more flavour to the crafting experience, such as Homemaker or SSEX, I think it's called. Also, there's what's it called? Something about intersection, where you can make things interact a little bit closer together, and also longer power lines. So all of these things will play into the workshop and the building experience. I want to install all those mods before I start this next portion of the game. So that's why I'm ending it here. So I'll install those mods before the next session, and then in the next session I'll start maybe some of the crafting stuff, but I'll do most of it off camera to start with because it's new to me and I don't want to be bumbling around whilst doing it. So I'll do all of that, get used to what I'm doing off camera, and then maybe finish off the last few bits and show you some of the workshop features for those of you that are watching this blind. And one final thing, why would we spend our time here? Why would Susan spend her time messing around here, building beds for these people, building, planting food, blah blah blah? Why not just go and make a beeline for Sean? Well, thinking about it, if we do find him, and she's hoping that she will, we're going to need to bring him back somewhere safe. Somewhere where we can provide for him. Somewhere where we can bring him up with food, with water, with security, with shelter. And therefore any work that we can do now here to get this place, to get Sanctuary up and running as a little settlement that can be self-proficient and self-running, then that's going to benefit us if we find Sean. So we're going to focus on this. We're going to get this place up and running, get this place to be the kind of place where we can bring up a child if we find him. And indeed he still is a child. But then once we've done that, it's going to be straight to Diamond City. So join me next time to see, well, what we can do with this place. Lick of paint, some new furniture. Who knows? Find out next time. See you soon.